Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Let's talk about AI, specifically something called generative agents,
Oh, yeah.
which is
They're very cool.
it's AI, but like we've never really seen it before,
Right.
and we've got research here from Stanford and Google to like break this down. So, generative agents, basically we're not just programming AI to do things, we're
Right.
creating it to be believable.
Yeah, like in simulations
Yeah.
where you're trying to like make these societies.
Exactly. It's like, how do we make it believable?
It's always been the really hard part.
Yeah.
Is how to get these agents to like
All right.
act consistently with their past
Uh-huh.
and react to
Yes.
what's going on around them.
And not just be like
Right.
pre-programmed robots, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like we want them to feel like they're living in this digital world.
Yes. And that's what's so cool about this.
Exactly.
Because it's not just like another chatbot. You know, this
Right.
is like AI that can learn and adapt.
Yeah, this is really getting at the heart of it.
Yeah.
And that's where these generative agents come in.
Okay.
They're using these large language models, which we've talked about before.
Yeah.
But they've added this whole other layer to it
Okay.
with a new architecture.
Okay.
And it all revolves around three things: memory, reflection, and planning.
Memory, reflection, and planning. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm intrigued. Break that down for me. Like, what does that even mean?
Okay, so let's start with memory.
Okay.
It's not just like data storage.
Right.
They have this memory stream
Okay.
that's constantly like updating,
Uh-huh.
ranking information by relevance.
Wow.
And get this, it allows the agent to actually reflect on those memories.
Hold on. Reflect, like actually think about it.
Yes. Oh, okay.
This reflection component,
Okay.
that's what lets them turn all those experiences into like...
These higher level insights
Wow.
that shape their future behavior.
So it's not just I did this, it's I did this, and this is what it means for me.
Exactly.
Whoa.
It's like they're learning from what they've done just like we do.
Okay, that's really interesting. What about planning? Where does that fit in?
Planning is how it all comes together.
Yeah.
That's what makes sure that everything makes sense over time.
Okay.
So they're not just reacting to each individual situation.
Right.
They can think ahead.
Yeah.
They can set goals,
Yeah.
make decisions based on what's happened in the past.
So they remember, they reflect, they plan. You're telling me this AI is practically thinking for itself now.
And to see how this works in action, researchers actually created a world called Smallville.
Smallville.
Yeah.
Like Superman.
Yeah.
Are we giving AI superpowers now? Smallville, like Superman.
Yeah, it's a simulation.
Oh.
It's like a virtual town, so like those life simulation games, They basically created this town so they could drop these agents in and see what would happen.
Oh, so they built this digital town and then just kind of let them loose.
Yeah, basically. They give each agent a backstory,
Mm-hmm.
some motivations,
Okay.
and then they just let them interact.
Okay, and so then what? What happens?
Well, that's what's really cool here, is that they don't just wander around aimlessly.
Okay.
You actually start to see these emergent, complex social behaviors.
Whoa, no way. Like what? Give me an example. What kind of behaviors are we talking about?
So, for example, one of the agents, her name is Isabella,
Okay.
she decides to throw a Valentine's Day party.
A Valentine's Day party. Okay, now I'm really interested.
So here's the thing, right?
Okay.
The researchers didn't program any of the agents to actually go to the party,
Okay.
but because they can remember and reflect on their interactions,
Right.
they start behaving in a way that mimics a real social network.
So, like, how do they even know about the party? Did she, like, send out a virtual Evite or something?
No, it was all word of mouth.
Really?
So like Sam, who we talked about, he was running for mayor.
Right.
He would chat with other agents about the party, and then it just kind of organically spread through the town.
Oh, wow. Okay, but did anyone even show up?
Yeah. And they even coordinated their arrival times, like you would for a real party.
Wait, what? They didn't just show up whenever they wanted?
Nope. Remember that planning component we were talking about?
Nah.
That's what they used
Oh, wow.
to look at when everyone else was planning on showing up and then adjust their schedules accordingly.
You're kidding. They really threw a party all on their own just because one of them decided to?
Yeah. And it gets even cooler
Okay.
because Isabella, Valentine's Day party, she remembers that her friend Maria has a crush on this other agent, Klaus.
Oh, no.
So she suggests that Maria invite him.
What?
And guess what?
What?
Maria invites Klaus, and he says yes.
This is insane. They're like a real friend group, except they're AI.
I know, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, so how do they even measure how believable any of this is. Like, I can't imagine you could ask them, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, how human are you feeling?
Well, they actually do these interviews with them.
Really?
Yeah, they ask them questions
Yeah.
that test things like self-knowledge
Mm-hmm.
or their ability to recall past events
Wow.
or how they would react to different situations.
So it's like a virtual Turing test, but instead of seeing if they can fool a human, it's more like seeing if they understand themselves.
Exactly.
Wow. And what kind of stuff have they found?
Well, in one of the interviews, Maria was asked what she would get Wolfgang for his birthday.
Okay.
And because she was able to reflect on their shared interests, she was able to pick out a really thoughtful gift.
Wow, that's really impressive. But did they create perfect little AI humans on the first try, or are there limitations to this technology?
Well, of course there's limitations. I mean, this
Right.
is still so new.
Yeah.
But one thing they noticed is that sometimes these agents will hallucinate details.
What does that even mean?
So it's like their memories get a little jumbled,
Yeah.
and they start adding in things that didn't actually happen.
Oh, so they're gossipy, just like us.
Yeah, pretty much.
So what else?
Well, they also noticed that as the agent's knowledge base expands,
Yeah.
their actions can become less believable.
How so?
It's like they're trying to cram in too much information at once, and it leads to them making some odd choices.
Like what?
Like they might choose to have lunch in a bar instead of a cafe.
It sounds like they're still working out the kinks of this whole being human thing.
Yeah, definitely.
So this has been really interesting, but are we all going to be hanging out with our AI friends in virtual towns anytime soon? Like, what's the real world application for this?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
That's right.
I mean, these virtual towns are great for testing things out,
Sure.
but it can go way beyond that.
Okay. How so?
Well, imagine something like social prototyping.
Social prototype.
Yeah, so like, say you're building a new social platform and you want to see how people will react to it.
Yeah.
Well, you could use these agents to simulate all of that.
So instead of just designing some new app, I can actually see how these virtual people would use it.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be huge. Think of all the design flaws and unintended consequences we could catch before they even happen. It's like getting a sneak peek into the future of social interaction.
It really is. And it's not just limited to like the digital world.
Okay.
Imagine using them to simulate how people would like move through a new city park
Oh, okay.
or interact with a new public transportation system.
So we've gone from AI throwing parties in virtual towns to like revolutionizing how we design the world around us.
Yeah, pretty much. And it gets even cooler when you start thinking about human-centered design.
Okay.
Remember that concept of ubiquitous computing we talked about?
Yeah.
The idea that technology should just integrate into our lives and our needs.
Huh?
Well, generative agents could be how we actually do that.
Okay, so like my smart home, it wouldn't just adjust the thermostat. It would know why I like it at a certain temperature.
Exactly.
Like it would know that I focus better when it's a little cooler, so it would automatically adjust throughout the day.
It's like having this digital assistant that knows you so well.
Right. Wow. Okay, we've covered so much today, from the technical stuff to like all these crazy possibilities, but it feels like generative agents are really pushing the boundaries of what we thought AI could even do.
They really are. And I think it's really important to remember that this is still so new.
Yeah, it's like the very beginning.
Exactly. And who knows what they'll be able to do as they become even more sophisticated.
It's definitely a little daunting, but also really exciting.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, if they can coordinate a party in a virtual town,
Right.
imagine what they could do in the real world.
They could change everything from urban planning to social work, even international diplomacy.
Now, that's something to think about.
It is.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive on generative agents. We hope you enjoyed it, and be sure to join us next time as we continue to explore this wild world of AI